All right, folks, buckle up because while you're out there busting your back in the garden or chasing chickens, Big Ag, that's right, Big Ag is in Washington, D.C., chasing you. Not literally, but through preemptive legislation that would make sure your voice never makes it to the dinner table. And here's the play. First, they're trying to do a repeat of what Reagan and Teddy Kennedy did for the vaccine industry. Remember the liability exemption that made it basically impossible to sue over a vaccine injury? Well, Big Ag wants the same deal for pesticides and herbicides. What's the translation? If the EPA says it's fine, you can't sue, even if your tomatoes glow in the dark or your neighbor's bees drop dead by the hive. Bayer has been hammered with billions in glyphosate lawsuits, and they want a way to pad the fall before it really hurts. Second, oh man, they're gunning for state rights. California and Massachusetts said, hey, if you're going to sell pork here, you better not raise it in those tiny torture crates. Big Ag's response, that's inconvenient for us, so let's just outlaw states from making rules inside their own borders. Folks, that's not just pigs on the chopping block. That's the whole idea of state sovereignty that our founders fought for. And if that wasn't enough, North Carolina's cooking up a raw milk ban, specifically outlawing herd shares. Their excuse, our good old friend, bird flu. Don't worry, the same industrial chicken houses that pack thousands of birds wing to wing and filth, well, they're totally fine. It's the family cow that's the problem. But here's the good news. Farmers are fighting back. Joel Salatin and others are heading to D.C. to push back against this federal power grab. And guess what? And Ryan lost his notes. I'm not so talented this morning. All right. And in North Carolina, Yesteryear Farm is hosting a Freedom Festival November 15th, standing up to say enough. And maybe, just maybe, if enough people show up, the politicians will see that food freedom isn't some fringe hobby. It's the heartbeat of a nation that still wants to eat real food from real farmers under real freedom. So let me ask you, why is Big Ag so afraid of food freedom? Hmm, maybe, maybe, just maybe, because food freedom means we don't need them anymore. Good morning, everybody, and welcome into the Farm to Table Show Saturday edition. It's good to be here with you. Little technical difficulties that held us up just a few minutes this morning. The chat is active and going over there. It is good to see everybody again. So good to be back from Oklahoma Homestead Rendezvous last weekend. What a blast, and we'll get into that more in the show. But without further ado, let me bring we're going to go to the next section. Good morning, bro. Welcome in.
Wait, hang on just a second.
You got yours. All right.
I gotta have my wild huckleberry hat.
Well, I got my wild huckleberry shirt.
Hey, look at you. You're all huckleberry
I'm
today.
huckleberried.
From top to bottom, but I got the Oklahoma Homestead Rendezvous.
There you go. Good job. Good job.
Berry
Yeah.
hat. And yeah, my wife don't like me to wear hats. And
Well, you know. Anyway, bro.
Anyway, good morning.
Good morning.
Kind of a serious topic. You kind of jumped.
Well, it kind of jumped off right out the bat. We come off of a hot weekend, and with the rendezvous and having a good time and everything. And but prior to that, we were elbow deep in the food freedom advocacy movement, and it just kind of we got a blog post this last week from our good friend Joel Salatin, and well, what can I say? It triggered me off.
Yeah, we kind of got triggered. We actually had something else, which I'm looking forward to putting on there.
Yeah.
We'll try that next week if somebody don't jump ahead in line.
Right.
Yeah, next week I want to cover embracing the undone.
Embracing the undone. There we go.
The undone.
I like that.
Yeah. Good morning. And oh, by the way, I don't know if you've seen it, but old Scotty boy said,
Yeah, I seen that.
"Mine
Ryan, unorganized, never
never."
listen. Listen, I will defend myself. All it is I have my papers here in front of me, and I had them out of order. That's all it was. I had them out of order, one page. But it didn't come across good. I guess I don't know.
Details. They just
Details.
so.
And
So anyway, I guess you know we should bring in the other brother.
is it time?
Should be time because he's got a unique perspective on the topic today because he used to be the among the problem in the world of what we're talking about,
Oh,
but
hey,
he's moved over
well,
to the solution.
I can relate to working for the other side, but anyway, well, hang on then. All right,
And there is
Hey,
don't want that one. There we
that
go.
introduction, I felt like I should have had a Darth Vader suit. Dun, dun,
uh,
dun.
yeah, yeah.
maybe right.
Hey, I don't know how many of y'all watch like SEC Roll Call or SEC Shorts or whatever, but uh, they've got one on there and it's Missouri, and they've got like a Darth Vader mask on. Guys, like this evil Sith Lord mask that
Yeah,
they were
the dark side.
the dark side.
I
That's
did.
it.
I used to work for that dark side.
I still work for one of them dark sides.
Yeah,
So
I sprayed glyphosate on everything. Well, not everything, but there's also what they call other products I think needs to be researched. Like if you go near railroad tracks or other clearings, there is a product called a total veg knockout.
right.
And what it does, you spray it and it sterilizes the soil for up to 6 years.
Wow.
So, I mean, if that's leaching, think about your trains and stuff, Keith. You know the train that runs behind back there. But yeah, not only glyphosate, but there are other products that are even more dangerous that are being put out that are not even being talked about. But think about those. If they have a 6-year lifespan in the soil to sterilize the soil, think about that leaching, the potential of that leaching into. You got roadways. When you see these guys go out there and they spray everything on roadways to
Yep.
clear that brush down, that's what it is. And that's near waterways too. There used to be a law from the EPA that required us to have a barrier between you and the waterways. But the problem is, it's not enough. The barrier was only like 6 feet from a waterway.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. So if you're out at a lake, you're spraying someone's lawn, you're spraying crops near a lake, anything. And the highest, I was reading some of the studies about the glyphosate anyway, and the EPA and the federal government try to negate everything that glyphosate touches, just about, and it's all for protections for the big ag companies out there because they're like I told you earlier in our talks, Keith, that there were two scientists that put out a lot of study and a lot of deep research that they're trying to debunk for big ag. And I think it's sad because they used all scientific methods to do it, but big ag is saying that it wasn't very scientific.
Mhm.
But it even comes down to if you think about it, in your food, we have even in our bodies, they found that all Americans have traces of glyphosate in us. In our urine, the urine samples, they're saying it's a very negative or negligible risk.
Right.
It's so low in our water but if you think about compounds adding up in your system, if we're continually consuming that product, and they say that water treatment plants take out most of it, but that's not all of it. That's the
Right.
problem, in my opinion, because it can build up in your system, and then the runoff from, say, golf courses. The biggest people having the issues, if you're on a well, you should be having your well tested at least yearly to make sure that those same pesticides are not getting into your well water. So it's a massive issue, and but I think there is a big cover up to try to, because it is a big product. We looked at what Big Ag has done through our scholarly programs in colleges and stuff. They have funded some college programs for Big Ag. Look at NC State, Clemson. You got all these other colleges that are Big Ag colleges. And it's these companies that are pushing tons. They're funneling tons of money into those programs. And what do you think those students, when they graduate, are going to be teaching?
Oh yeah,
The same concepts.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, and it's all over. You know, like I said, even out here with Oklahoma State and Texas A&M and places like that that are that same way. Let's see. Okay, hey, I'm going to put this up from Police Stories. Good morning, David. Says, watch out where you get your hay from. A lot of farmers are starting to spray grazing on it, and if you try to reuse the hay or manure for your garden, you will kill your plants. Not well,
Right.
you kill the planet too, David. I agree. You'll kill the planet too. But anyway,
Well, a lot of people are using hay to cover over, like when they reseed grass or something like that. I
Well,
mean, that.
it and that is because the hay itself or the wheat straw holds moisture,
Mhm.
yeah,
and it helps retain that moisture. The moisture to the soil during germination helps keep the soil wet so that the seed germinates healthy. If you don't put a cover over seed, in the case of fescue and other grasses, you won't. It's almost it's just going to blow off. It's not going to do
right.
much except for what lands in the hole. But the soil dries out without something that lays over it, causing a moisture barrier down for the seed.
Right. TNT Homesteading brought this in. They only want scientific methods if the results are what they want. If not, then you did it wrong. So, yeah.
What? Yeah, that's about right. That's the avenue that they tend to preach down. Is that everybody else is wrong but them because their science is proven. Your science is trash.
Right. Thank you, Edward Bernays.
Yeah. Okay.
Edward Bernays was
Um,
the almost like I wouldn't say father of propaganda, but he was very, very hands-on with
yeah,
propaganda back in the early 1900s.
right. So
Yeah.
let me, so I guess, bro, I'm going to ask this question. It's in my points. What does this mean for accountability in food production if this liability
Well,
is given to big ag, if this exemption is given to big ag?
all right, I've got a poll up there asking you if asking everybody, and we would like it if you guys go over there and answer that poll. Do you, and the poll is asking, do you agree with exemptions for big agriculture or agriculture department? As long as the EPA says it's okay, I kind of see that as that they're shaking hands and agreeing with each other about what's going to happen.
Wink, wink, nod, nod.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that, and never say, well, the EPA said it was fine, so we did it, even though there are studies out there, as Scott was saying. Um, and for those who don't know this guy, this is our other brother, Scott. I don't know if we even
That guy.
who you are. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
am that guy.
that guy.
Oh, that guy.
So yeah, I mean, but there have been studies, and it's just which one do you trust? Who do you trust these days?
Right.
Well, here I want to read a study that came out a few years ago. It was called the Moderate Outcome: 291 patients and 377 patients, a life-threatening outcome in 18 and death in 5 of the first case for 291. The case that had 377 participants in it, almost 10%. It was 8 people had died in that study as well, and that was from either exposure or ingestion. And if you understand, when I worked in the industry, although we had requirements for PPE, Roundup at the time wasn't thought to be so bad for you.
Right.
So guys were walking around without their mask on. And if you know anything about spraying the product, it will have a vapor to it.
Mm-hmm.
You will actually, it has a sweet taste when it hits your mouth. And you know that you've ingested some of that at that point, because when you spray the particulates, the particles, they're just fine mist, and when
Mm-hmm.
the wind blows, it blows it right up into your face. Uh, so even if you had a mask on, there's still the exposure to your skin where it hits. So and it only had gloves and mask. Actually, it
So
didn't even have mask. It just had gloves and PPE. It didn't even have a mask requirement when I was spraying it. So all these people that were spraying it for years, and I can't help but wonder how much of the health problems that I go through are might be attributed to those type of exposures way back when.
yeah, and
Yeah.
how many health problems out there that'll go unknown,
Yeah,
untested?
well, we know non-Hodgkin's lymphoma is one of them. We
Yeah.
know that gut microbiomes is another affected issue, and that list that I've been looking at goes on and on and on with how many problems there was. But every time you read it, there's also a little line in every article you read that talks about the EPA debunking this whole thing.
Right.
So I like I said, I think there's a bigger issue, a bigger crisis behind it, and it's called money.
Right. Well, I'll ask this. I'm going to throw this out there. We just watched my sit down with Joel Salatin at Ozarks Homesteading Expo,
Mm-hmm.
and we were talking about some of the rapid changes and some of the craziness, as far as the changes coming down from the top with RFK Jr. and and that up there. I wonder where he's at on this exemption, idea, given how much time and effort he has spent personally, as a lawyer in court fighting Monsanto and fighting against Roundup and the glyphosates and all of that stuff, that we would suddenly hand this same exemption to the agricultural industry, and keep in mind, folks, this ain't the farmer. This ain't you in your backyard. I mean, it affects you because it's your soil too, but this is those big ag companies, those big monster companies that run agriculture, row cropping, and all this other stuff that use these methods that are the ones that stock the store shelves at these box stores that millions of people consume every year. Now, mind you, these are chemicals that are illegal in countries outside the United States.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the United States, why it's I don't understand now, because Europe has banned glyphosate completely.
Right.
If these countries are banning it, why are we still standing behind it? Why is there not more research being done on why these countries are banning it? There's got to be reasons they're doing it.
Follow the money.
That's what I'm saying. The problem's the money.
Right.
So
Yeah. Like I said, there's more to it than they're letting the public know. It's our safety they're messing with. Yeah. You know. And that's right. Well, listen, it's time to move on because we had more subjects here. We had state rights issues going on.
Yeah,
Uh,
right.
because listen, folks, do your homework on the Monsanto on the glyphosates. Keep your eyes peeled, and hey, we'll get into some of the action steps you can take against all of this stuff we're talking about here towards the end of the show. But anyway, bro, what do you? I mean, should the states have the rights to set their own food and farming standards, even if it affects interstate commerce?
Yeah, so with this deal in California, they just simply didn't want their pork or their pigs to be raised in little cages or pens and stuff like that, but because of their animal rights. And whether you agree with that or whether you don't, I don't think, federal overreach can be a thing.
Oh yeah,
And to give a federal three-letter agency carte blanche over a state, so if the EPA says it's fine, and then suddenly, agriculture gets a big forgiveness of just about anything that they put on there, even in the face of opposition. I think it's wrong to take it away from the states at this point, and which which harkens back to things that we've been preaching for almost 5 years now, is give people the choice,
Right.
Yeah.
Uh, and of course, TNT Terry there said absolutely, states have the right to overrule the feds. Sort of how it's all set up. It is, and what these companies. Now, mind you, again, this is you know companies that are these big producers of pork. Some of the same ones that produce beef and chicken and everything else. Again, but they're trying to lean on the Interstate Commerce Clause is what they're trying to lean on to
Mhm.
override that because they're if a state one they either have to change their practices or they can't ship their product into California or Massachusetts. And if you'd have ever told me that I was going to stand on the side of California on an issue, I'd have had to have shook my head and just cried a little bit.
Right.
But when it comes to this and raw milk legislation and those food freedom legislations and things like that, hey, if that's what, and this is California's stance, this is what our people want. Well,
Well,
if that's what,
California is the leader in carcinogenic studies anyway.
right? Oh yeah,
And the glyphosate, and the first thing that ever came out about glyphosate and Roundup was the carcinogenic effects to it. And
right,
now there's much deeper studies that have been done. But like I say, anytime you have carcinogenic effects on stuff, California is probably going to be the first state in every case to bring
right,
that forward.
right. And like I said, this one was just a matter of them not wanting, you know, pork into their states that were raised a certain way, right?
Mhm.
And which is really the commercial method of raising pigs and that type of stuff. But um, you know, and I will say this: is this really about pigs, or is it about people losing control of their food system?
Is it about states who want control over people's food system? I mean, I hate to play devil's advocate, but I don't know. Some states, California, they kind of like to be in control of the population in a way that I think is overreaching most of the time. And so. But I think, Scott, you said it earlier, they get some things right, you
They
know,
do.
and um, but here's something that I'll interject at this point, and that is an article I read this morning talking about how the Trump administration wants to still cozy up to big agriculture or to the agriculture, the rural area, if you will, which is agriculture, um, because they're a very big voting bloc, right?
Right.
So they're thinking to give a bailout to farmers right now
Right.
because they're trying to make it to where they can compete with Brazil on on
Soybean is the
corn. And,
corn, the
yeah,
soybean,
it's corn for methanol,
right?
right? And I'm thinking,
Methane. Yeah,
don't we need to rethink that whole thing anyway? I mean, why
But
would we
I've
give
heard it for
oil?
years that the federal government has been subsidizing or paying for people not to grow farms.
See,
yeah. Yeah, we heard the same stuff that they were basically they made more money not growing. We had acreage not being farmed because they didn't want, and right. And it's like how do you, do one side and do the other? Now, conversation that we've had recently at the rendezvous at Ozarks with a couple of people that brought it up was
yeah,
about these government subsidies. And of course, they were some were about energy, and we'll get some of that. It was different things, but it was basically that if this model can't sustain itself in the open market, why is the government propping it up? Why is it being propped up by our tax dollars if it can't sustain on it? If it can't stand on its own,
right.
Right.
merit?
Right, and
Yeah.
these are regenerative farmers, okay?
Right,
Just talking about that and talking about a better way to do things
right,
overall.
right. But
Well, regenerative farming and the mass farming that's going on are two different kind of sects going on within the communities,
Did
and
he
it's
say
the one
sex or sex?
sex, like SECT. Wow. Anyway,
Where are you from?
it's what's
North
going on through
Carolina?
those communities, but the ones that are still
Make
doing
sure I
it
heard
the
right.
big ag way, those are the ones that are still on board with kind of calling it negligible, because that's what they do every day. It's
Right.
sort of like what I did for years. You went out and sprayed the stuff, and you hook, line, and sinker. When you would go back for, even the pesticide license I had, you jump into that whole argument, and you're defending it the whole way because you're using that product. But when you
Right.
step away from that industry and you do it the right way, so there's two factions in farming. There's the big ag faction, and
Mm.
then there's the regenerative faction right now. And hopefully the regeneration will gain a lot of traction. But these companies have hit these big farms, and I mean, it's all over the place now. So it's in your food, it's in your water. I don't know how better to put it than, these pesticides are everywhere.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, it's even on your, you go down to your box store, it's on the shelf, right there, ready to go. So, and I mean, that's our overriding theme is this, and I think the states' rights when it comes to food, is something that every state's going to have to fight, and we need to fight together. And so, even if we have to hold our nose and defend California's right to have, what we might consider kind of maybe sideways laws, if it's California and it's their state, great, let them
Right.
choose that. But um, so North Carolina, um,
Which is where I'm at currently.
which is where he's at on the ground in North Carolina. But anyway, this deal with now from what I understand about North Carolina, they already have they're very restricted on raw milk or real
Yeah,
milk. I like to
it's
call
a
it.
it's a no consumption for humans
Right,
state. It can be sold to feed other animals.
right,
Florida, Texas, which are the three states I've been in lately. It's funny.
yeah,
Uh, but between those three states, I know for sure, especially here in North Carolina, you can't sell it for human consumption.
right. So I guess I mean, and which I know, we're fighting. There's a fight, I say fighting. There's a legislation down here in Oklahoma to change it. Arkansas, where I live, it's already been changed to where it can be sold retail, third party. And so it's such a big deal. But now what they're wanting to do with in North Carolina is even trying to close the exemption on herd share, or that type of thing. And I like that, Terry. Thanks. And so this farm, Yesteryear Farms, is holding a freedom rally. It's where Joel Salatin's coming to speak, but they're holding this rally to push back or to raise awareness and inviting politicians to come down and raising awareness of this movement, and kind of trying to have a good time with it. It's a festival atmosphere. Well, there it is. Uh, you know, and trying to have this thing where they're kind of raising awareness, fighting back in an interesting kind of way. But I, I guess it still boggles my brain that we're having this fight each and every. It seems like every state's going through these fights with real milk and food freedom, and it's happening all over. And so why is Big Ag afraid of food freedom? Is my question.
Um, I see. I kind of get stuck on that. I think that I wonder sometimes is if both sides don't think they're right. In other words, they don't believe that regenerative farming is the way to go. It's what we've done for the last 100 years is to grow food this way. We kind of said we're the food basket of the world, and we grow more food by doing this type of farming, which I guess is being called monocropping, right?
Right.
And so that they want to hold the status quo the way it is because they think that it works. Well, and I suppose that it does as far as creating a volume of food. But what I want to bring up something that Joel Salatin said is, well, if you're afraid that they're going to lose their jobs here, why don't you let them get involved? Those people who lose their job there, just move over to a different type of job, which is composting, right? And so that's the other side argument, I would say. And so under big agriculture, and we call it big agriculture, I kind of don't like those words, big ag and big business and big this and that, big government. I mean, I know that they're big, but whenever you start to give to bail them out, well, why do they need a bailout?
Right. Well, because it's not the cost is exceeds the profit. If you really actually if they had to shoulder the entire burden, the
Mm-hmm.
cost exceeds the profit. Same thing with solar fields and things like that. The cost exceeds the profit margin. There is no profit margin. And so without the government subsidies, they financially cannot sustain, and it's one of the many reasons that so many have gotten out of the farming industry is because, and generationally, is because they see that there's no profit. I mean, big row crop, monocrop, farming is not profitable unless you have these subsidies and unless you deal with all that. Well, then when you deal with that, of course, then comes all the strings that are attached to that money, So, I mean, it's,
So one of the arguments is this is national security. And I don't know if you've heard that before or not, but they're saying that if an outside enemy, let's call them an enemy, or another government or another country wants to control the people or that government, then they can if they can affect the food supply chain, then they can control the people through what they eat and that sort of thing. And
then why are they allowing China to purchase farmland?
a lot of people, well, the state of
Well,
Oklahoma has put a stop to that.
So is the state of Arkansas, but
and so is some of the executive orders coming out to stop China from purchasing or purchasing land in the United States for farming products.
right.
So it is
Just
another
saying.
thing that has. It's funny because on one they're putting an executive order out for protecting big ag, and the other hand they're protecting the farmland. So I agree with them protecting the farmlands and not selling it to foreign interest. But at the same time, this whole big ag stuff, to me, there is a big cover up going on. It's been going on for 30 plus years.
Right.
Maybe even, I mean, way longer. I don't know, but that's about as long as I've been involved in it. So,
Well, let me throw another hot one out there. Would Bill Gates be considered a foreign entity? The largest landowner of farmland in the United States?
That's interesting.
I think corporations should not be allowed to buy farmland. I think it
Right.
should be privatized completely, not through business, not through government, but through individual farmers.
I agree with that. I like that. That's a good response. I like that. That's a good answer.
Yeah. So, bro,
Yeah,
I hate to do it, but we're at 33 after.
I see that. I will just I'll just ask one last question and then we'll move right on in. It's just a quick question.
Right.
How do events like the North Carolina Food Freedom Festival or even like the Oklahoma Homestead Rendezvous and the expos and the places we've been this year, how do they move the needle in this movement, in this
Exposure.
issue?
Right. Exposure, but not only exposure to the public in general, but exposure to even the homesteading community. And some of the events that we've gone to, making people aware of what's going on. I'll also add real quick that Scott and I watched which was a little hard to watch. I ain't gonna lie, Scott.
Yeah. If
Uh,
they could just leave the activism and the name and the race baiting out of it, would be
yeah,
great.
it would have been a great show. But they were talking about cover crops and how using cover crops overall and barriers, wind barriers, and different things like that. to put CO2 back into the ground because, you know, the CO2 is being depleted out of the monocropping system. You know, they showed two farms side by side. One was in monocrops and the other one was in, I guess it would be in regenerative farming and that sort of thing. And so, and of course, as you can imagine, one side is lush, the other one is just completely barren. There's just nothing but soil there, right? So anyway, something really interesting there, and that is a topic that deserves a whole section on its own. At another,
Did you mention the name of that show we watched? Common Ground on Prime Video.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of big names in it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of research in it, but you do have to kind of filter out the race baiting going on with
right.
it.
So during sections like that, I'll show you how that you're supposed to deal with that. La 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 la.
Yeah. All right. Well, good conversation, good discussion, and good dialogue with some great insight from Scott and his time in the field, and then also just good dialogue in the
green industry.
The green industry, right? Which turns everything brown. I don't understand.
Yes.
No, anyway, but anyway, and certainly great chat from our guys over in chat. But it's time to move on to, let's see. Bringing in the important Mr. P. All right.
There we go.
Howdy ho.
Been hanging out back there in the back, green room, you know. Anyway, we haven't had Mr. P on in quite some time, but we brought, of course, Scott. We ended up bringing into the conversation in early because the pre-show conversation turned in such a way that we felt like we needed to. And then, of course, Mr. P, to reintroduce him to everybody who may not remember Mr. P, when we were doing our Tuesday nights, he was there regularly. And then when every Tuesday, and then when we were doing the live events and we were going out, then he's the guy that's over there behind the box normally. And I will say, Mr. P, we were screaming your name this last weekend because you weren't with us.
Yeah, and it was with obscenities. I'm just saying.
But anyway, so yeah, it's good to have you with us again. I know we woke you up early.
Yeah, no.
Right.
I'm not usually a morning person on Saturdays, so
yeah,
how to get used to this.
It's well, as early as you get up during the week, I can understand. But anyway, so everybody, this is sitting before you, the current Farm to Table Show crew. Scott's our brother, but we'll also introduce him as our new program director.
Our other brother.
Our other brother. That guy. That guy. But anyway, he is our program director now. He's going to be handling a lot of things for us in that regard going forward. And of course, Mr. P, our venerable technical producer on site and occasional commentator and football score keep-upper and and also food sniffer. He knows where the good food's at. So
hey, first off, y'all put me beside it and I had to sit there and I can't go get anything, so that's on y'all at that point.
Right. And now Mr. P, we got to find a way to keep up with you. That's what we're going to have to find. So we know to make sure to get you things. So anyway, but no, it's good to have you back in with us and have the four all together. And Terry said we needed help. Yes,
we need help. All right.
What kind of help?
I don't know if that help is I don't know what kind it's out there, but it's but anyway, so guys, hey, it's good to hang out and good to see you guys. Of course, some of us, we talk. We've had many Sasquatch conversations going on recently, and that was an yeah, there we go. That was we learned that's a greeting, and if it's
hello.
If it's friendly like that,
it's like hola.
Yeah, right. But anyway, for those who don't know, go back and check the videos from Oklahoma Homestead Rendezvous. We had a visit from Sasquatch.
Yeah,
A Sasquatch.
yeah. What was that Sasquatch names? Do you remember?
Well,
Hank.
I think y'all said it was Hank.
Hank.
I didn't get to I didn't get to see this, and I'm still not 100% sure that things really happened, but there is video evidence, so I don't know.
Well, what I thought was interesting, we had a chance. It's like this is a chance in a lifetime to ask Sasquatch questions. I mean, who gets to do that?
Right.
So whenever he sat down there, the first thing I'm thinking is like, oh my God, I can see him. He's real. And so one of the questions that I got to ask is, why is it that you're so hard to find, and why can't people see you? And he said, well, all children can see me. He said, but only those who believe, who are adults, can see me. And I thought, well, that's interesting. How does that work? And here was my heartbreak. We had a technical issue, which I feel like the Farm to Table show is getting known for.
Don't talk about it. Don't talk about it.
Don't talk about it.
That's it.
So we went on a Sasquatch walk, or a walk with Sasquatch, just to see who rubbernecks, because we know, according to that rule, anybody who turns and looks because they see Sasquatch there is a believer.
Right.
And that part didn't come through.
Yeah.
It didn't come through because of audio problems or something like that. But we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I'm going to move right quick. I'm going to interrupt you. Scotty says bringing a Scott on board was the right choice. He will keep you guys in line. And Terry said he sounds like Santa Claus.
He sounds like Santa Claus.
Yeah,
He does exist.
He does.
He does exist.
And then he also said we got Elder Squatch is in the house, and he says I'm always up for questions. So. So we've got we have a Sasquatch in the audience today in the chat. So
well, see, this was the other thing. I didn't really, in my mind, I didn't even think that they had technology whatsoever. But apparently
they're a little more advanced than we're aware of.
Yeah, and they keep up with us. One of the things off screen that I talked about with Sasquatch was, how do you know all of this? How do you keep up with the news and things like that? He said, we just go up to somebody's window who has a TV and we just watch.
Oh,
that makes me feel better.
Right. Yeah. That sneaking suspicion you got that somebody's there, but yet you can't see them. Right. Yeah.
Okay.
There we go. We are light
years ahead of humans.
I don't know how that works, but
I don't know, but
I'm about to say, that's...
I guess this would be an opportunity if we wanted to. I mean, who's the spotlight here?
Well, I thought it was our brothers, but apparently, Squatch is portals. Very good, portals.
Oh, portals. Interesting. Okay.
Hey, here's a great question. They just watch or just squatch? I like that. I like that, Terry.
Both, Terry. I think you do both.
But anyway, apparently, yeah. So they're what I watched of the interview. Interesting cats, interesting guys. And I don't know. I mean, seemed like what was his name? Hank.
Right.
If I read that right, heard that right, I think he seemed like he had a little attitude. I don't know. He seemed like he had a little.
He did. I mean, he's watched the human race grow up partially, So.
Right.
And one of the things he left us with is that be peaceful and there will be peace. Or it was something like that.
Yeah, no, just don't stay. When I heard it, I heard "Don't start nothing, won't be nothing." Kind of.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought, okay, that's cool.
I mean, it's kind of what I got out of it. When I heard it later, watched it, but
So actually, the spotlight and listen. Elder, I don't know what we call you, Elder Squatch. What would you like to be called? So that we can address you properly.
I'm waiting to see. Yeah, I happen to deal with something here.
Yeah. So anyway, feel free, and I'm just going to say elder for the moment. Elder is fine, or dad. Who's
Oh,
your daddy?
who's your daddy? Who's your daddy?
Oh no! Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Oh, listen to this, elder is fine or dad.
Oh my gosh.
That almost sounded like an evolution argument. I'm not sure, but
That's right. Elder Squatch is right. They've found a way to not be captured by humans all these centuries. Yeah, I mean, honestly, apparently they can be seen by children and whoever believes. And I guess not many people believe. Although when we walked through, there was a lot of people who rubbernecked.
there was a lot of people. They were some even stepped back from what I was watching. Heard there was people kind of not having nothing to do with it. I don't know.
That's right. I believe.
We're experts in stealthiness.
I mean, that is true. So
Apparently, yeah. So,
hashtag elder dad.
yeah.
Dad.
Scotty, we love you, man. One Scott to
Scotty.
another. Scotty. Oh man.
He's always hashtag guy.
That's great.
Oh man.
But anyway, elder dad, if you elder squatch, elder.
I'll just go with elder. I can't do the dad thing now.
Okay. Yeah, that brings up way too many questions.
Yeah. I mean, way too
Why
many.
does my boy not look like me? No, I'm just kidding.
Something like that. Yeah.
Anyway, so sorry, I digress. But anyway, elder, feel free to chime in.
Yeah.
But we're going to kind of turn to these two clowns.
Yeah, I know, right? So, Scott, we'll start with you. You mentioned you're in North Carolina.
Yep.
Now that's been home base.
For a long time.
Right, and but now I see a wall of musical instruments behind you there.
Yep, this is a music studio that me and my boys put together.
Oh, okay.
I have two boys, well, three of them who are musicians. One does more of the digital music, where you guys know, or Levi and Andrew are pretty skilled. I was a big musician when I was younger, and
well, big like as in tall, the amount of activity, or like name,
all
like
of the above.
All of the above. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, not name for me. They're like, when you mention my name, they go, "Who?"
Yeah, that guy.
That guy. Oh, him.
Anyway,
so moving on into this. Now, we haven't seen you in a little while, Dakota. It's good to see you. I tell you, man, you're a sight for sore eyes. And of course, everybody knows Mr. P, and he's handling the technical side of everything. But did anybody bring in show and tell, something that they want to show and tell?
Besides themselves, obviously.
Oh, man.
Funny thing was, when behind the scenes conversation, y'all both had the same answer. I'll bring myself.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I will show you my cup.
Let's
what
see.
Is
the child? The force is strong with this one.
Didn't you say that the force the other day, Ryan, was?
Oh yeah, yeah. The force, the star. I sense a disturbance in the force or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was. But yeah. So Dakota, you're shuffling things around over there.
Yeah. So I guess I brought just something because it's close by.
Because it was a
Wounded Knee.
Tell me about
book you're reading. Okay.
Yeah, that was part of a book for one of my classes I had to do, which is pretty much all I've been doing for the past month and a half now. So,
other than work.
Work and school. That's the life of Dakota right now.
Yep.
Full-time worker, part-time student, and
have you read it?
Full-time student and full-time worker. I don't know.
Right.
I read it, But I've already had to move on to 2 other books since then, so all the information's already gone.
Okay, so you
Yeah.
basically brought a show and tell that you can't tell us anything about.
No,
You
because
did show us.
now I'm having to also read this one if I can actually get the camera.
Nope, flip it around. Let's see. Well,
Fighting
fighting.
for American Manhood. How gender politics provoked the Spanish American and Philippine American wars.
That sounds like.
Did you say gender politics?
He
The
said.
exact word. Exact right there.
Yeah, it's in reverse for how. Yeah, I can't read
Yeah.
it, but anyway.
Uh,
Wow, that's our education system, folks, right there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there we go. That's better.
Hey,
Yeah.
okay.
Right.
Fighting for an American manhood. How gender politics provoked the Spanish American and Philippine American wars. And I sense, based on the fact that I seen American in the title of both of those, that somehow or another we're the bad guy.
Could be.
Yep.
I just.
Oh man.
I gotta finish reading that and write a paper on it. So yay me.
Well, put on your tinfoil hat and protect your actual brain and proceed through.
Oh, here's the other one I'm having to read also.
Standing at Armageddon. All right.
Yeah.
A
Wow.
crossroads history of the progressive era.
Grassroots.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. So
So
that's what my life is consisting of right now. So yay me.
Yeah.
well, let me just say, if your child who's been to college comes out an entirely different personality and everything,
Yeah.
there's a clue right there.
There might be a clue. Yeah.
We got to keep Mr. P under wraps, though.
I'll tell you what, man, that's crazy.
man.
So yeah. So let me see where I'm at here.
Well-
So what's next? I'm so totally yeah. So anyway, what brain? Oh, listen to Scotty. Yeah, it's
Right.
that stuff will melt your brains. What that'll do.
Right.
So listen,
Scotty.
yeah.
Scott.
So we know what's been going on in Mr. P's world. We're trying to slowly reel him back in. We get him back into the fray.
Oh.
Let's see. Here we go. Yeah, we could get into a whole conversation about the higher education system. Yeah, they're high, all right.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that's about indoctrination or education. Which one are you going for?
yeah. That is a whole show. So
Right.
that's.
Hey, you're
yeah,
welcome.
yeah, thanks. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, when things slow down, and we need something to fire
We
it
need some
up.
views. We need some views.
Hey, do you want to give a shout out to your school?
Yeah. Do you want to?
Do you want to?
I mean, I'm really just going to Northeastern State University, Lily, up there in Tahlequah.
Northeast State University.
Northeastern State University. Yeah.
Yep.
No,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Where they
Got-
specialize in being high. No, anyway.
I mean, they used to be a party school back in the day, from what I heard. So,
yeah.
So-
Your Aunt
The
Tanya.
party is over.
Your Aunt Tanya spent quite a bit of time there. Yeah. But anyway, let's see. Hi, my green thumb. All right, hey, welcome in.
Hi, Tracy.
Hey. And Terry said, I know that place. Yeah, your neighbors, just down the road.
That's right. Be careful. Walk lightly.
Walk lightly. But anyway, yeah. So, well, that's good. We've caught Mr. P. Like I said, we're slowly reeling him back into, being a part of the program again, getting ready.
Yeah.
But Scott, what's next on Scott's agenda?
Well, I head back to Houston on Monday.
Okay.
And where I'm involved in our sister Gail's house renovation, tearing that apart, putting it back together for her to sell it. And they're going to retire at the first of the year and move into Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's right. When you go to Florida, give me a call. Are you still going to Utah?
yeah, we are. I actually, we're going to be going to Utah, trying to drag you and Melly along with us as well.
Yeah, you get easy to convince me, not so easy to convince her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we thought about going the way of Colorado first, then down into Utah.
Can we stop by and see the Sasquatch statue there?
We're going to go by and greet him. Yeah, that actually, I forget the name of the way. What's the mountain you go up to get to the top? I can't remember. Paradise Point.
Oh,
I think
okay.
it is Paradise Point. You go up to the top of the mountain. That's right before you get to the bridge before they shut it down when it snows.
Ah,
And
well,
there's a
there.
little store on the left, and that Sasquatch sits right out there beside of it.
Right. But,
Right. So, Scott, did
Yep.
you did you have a show and tell item?
Yeah, I showed you
his coffee cup. Yeah.
my coffee cup.
Oh, the coffee cup is the show and tell item.
It is the show and
What's the
tell.
story behind that? I mean,
Well, I like Yoda. I'm not associated to the dark side of the Force.
not anymore.
Well, not anymore. I've
Well,
been delivered.
You, yeah, you've been delivered. All right.
I when I myself resided on the dark side, I had a sticker that set up on a little magnet sticker up on the front of my desk that said, "Come to the dark side. We have cookies."
Yeah. No, there is something I'm currently working on though, and it deals with a lot of farming as well as our spiritual growth in life. Me as well, being a believer and a Christian. It's a book I've been working on for years. Hopefully, we're going to bring that to the forefront and introduce that at some point. But it's called Seed to Maturity, and it's the correlation between a plant's life and human life and the growth processes in comparison to what it takes for that plant to become. And I guess one of the things I'd like to mention from the book is I make the comparison of the greatest season in a plant's life. Most people would say is when it blooms and it's beautiful, but that's not the best season in a plant's life at all. The best season in a plant's life is when it's done blooming and it starts to decay, but it's doing its greatest work at that point. It's actually producing seed in its own likeness. And when it starts to decay out, it drops those seeds to the ground. And those seeds, when they grow, are in the image of their the primary plant, which is a lot like us in life. It's when we look, we think our day is about the bloom, the beautiful season in our life, but it's when we get older and wiser that we start producing sons in the ministry to help other people in this world. Those are spiritual sons that we affect in our life's travels. So the same thing with the plant. It's not always the beautiful show that's the most important part. The most important part is producing sons in our own likeness, just as God produced mankind in his.
Right. When the seed fell into the ground, it must.
Right.
Right. And of course, this is highly biblical all the way through.
Yeah.
And being in a homesteading community and dealing with plants and gardening and all of that stuff, learning to have an appreciation for that. I think hands in the soil and doing that type of thing is God ordained, if you will.
Right. Anyway, yeah, I agree with that. I think it's kind of, as you get into, when you start watching everything that the creator, that God builds, shows that cycle, and
what's funny is that book has been 20 years in the making.
Wow. Well, that, 20 years, Scott 20 years ago and Scott today, two different guys. So
yeah, that's why I always say, I think, when I think I'm done and ready to publish. And so, there are 4 books in the making right now, but that one, when I think I'm done, I realize God's got way more than so I end up pulling the book back for a little longer to expound and to study and to rewrite some of the things I've put in there. And it's an amazing concept. It's an amazing book, but it is completely an inspired work.
Yeah. We certainly look forward to, getting our hands on the book once it becomes available.
Yeah.
And, who knows?
Yeah. Our friend Edward Braden, and good morning, Edward. Good to see you and everybody. After 40 years, after about 40 years after my nephew and I went squirrel hunting, he asked me if I was talking about Sasquatch when I asked him if he heard that noise. I told him if he ever meets Sasquatch, he has a responsibility as a Christian to inform him of the gospel. Any being that walks on 2 feet needs to hear. So,
Right.
uh,
And
so
and as our Jack said, bipedal bear is what he thought that they were being confused at.
bipedal bear.
So if I meet a bipedal bear,
Right.
I'm getting the heck out of there, slowly backing up, keeping my eye on him, using that whole thing. And if it gets too close, I guess I just play dead. I don't
Right.
know. He'll probably eat me. So
Well, all right. Well, we're going to we oh, hey, we Squatches are believers. Are you? Oh, Elder Squatch
very
laying it
clever.
down. There you go. Elder Squatch laying it down. Yeah. All right.
Laying the smack down
And
right
I'm
there.
telling you, we are believers. There you go.
He said,
Well,
"You trying to teach me? Are you
yeah.
kidding me?
Well,
I'm
you
a
can't
youth."
be. Right. Well, so we've got Scott working on a book. I've been working on some stuff. Dakota is reading a lot of books. And,
We need to switch his diet. That's what.
that I think we need to do. But no, and Bro and I continue, Keith and I continue, and the whole gang here continuing to work on the future of the Farm to Table show, and as we continue to move forward. But that being said, if we look up over there at the ticker, we have exceeded. Uh, uh, we had listen. We are honored and blessed here. Look at this. Good morning, guys. I'm in OK City. Have another event this weekend. So good to see y'all last weekend. Our good friend Dwayne Hall. Well, good morning, Dwayne. Glad to see you. Yeah, And speaking of that, I'm going to do a quick recap. Now, of course, Keith and I have our Huckleberry hats on, and Keith has his Homestead, Oklahoma, laying the squash down, Scotty. Anyway, I don't know if it was a good idea bringing two Scots on here or not. I don't know, but
Yeah, it's fine.
Keith's got his rendezvous shirt on. I've got my Wild Huckleberry gift shirt on.
Yeah.
And speaking of our friend Dwayne, he blessed us with
Oh man,
Oh, boy.
cider. Yeah.
buddy, I could put that on a salad.
Hot nasty tincture, which
Ain't putting that on
I've
a
used.
salad.
And he gave me this. I haven't had a chance to use it, but it is a Teasel. It's a pain roll on. It lowers on. It's a pain eraser.
Right.
Rolls on. So that was that one. Now you're gonna have to remember to remind me who gave us the sea salt.
C90.
C90. Okay, that's what I thought. C90 gave us a couple of samples of Travel Grinder 4-pack of mineral sea salt. So that was a cool gift.
Yeah.
Of course, got the rendezvous hat,
Mhm.
and
Yeah, you can. It
Ter-
blows double. Right?
Terry said hot and nasty is. That's it. Hot and nasty is. And y'all seen us eat the cheesecake on a stick, right? But Dakota,
On a steak.
There's my prized possession right there. Okay.
there it is, buddy. There it is. We just got to meet up. We
Yeah.
just got to meet up.
Yeah.
Anyway, the rendezvous was a great time. Dwayne was there. Terry with TNT Homestead was there. So many of our other people that are in our community were there. The Wild Huckleberry and the list is endless. And they have got the dates out for next year. But anyway, are we ready to wind this out of here and get out of here?
No, but yes.
Well, no, I'm not. But I mean, time demands. I don't know. It's
Out of respect for the tablers,
which I think the tablers are having a good time. Some of them have come in now. We're in the back end, But anyway, so that being said, let's go on over here and see the Redneck Weather Report and see what's happening in the weather today. So let's see, share screen and here we go.
Good morning, Rednecks. It is 66 degrees this morning, October the 4th, 2025. We got a 9-mile-an-hour south-southeast wind. Feels like it's 63 degrees. Dew point's 57, and we're going to get to 87 today. God bless y'all. We'll see you again tomorrow. Good.
All right. So there's the weather report. Anyway, Terry, we agree on the sadness of having to get up and get things done. I feel the same sentiment. But anyway, let's see what is next. There it is. That's right. It is time. If it'll bring me back. There it is. Time for the brain bust. This was a short and simple one. Why is the word dictionary in the dictionary?
Is it? Don't know.
Why is the word
I want
dictionary
to.
in the dictionary? Right?
Just in
But,
case you're wondering what it looks like or what it is.
there you go. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I don't have a quote of the day lined up for today, but I will quote our good friend Dwayne Hall, bringing the past to the present for the future. That was the motto at the rendezvous this year. And it was also very core to Dwayne's opening speech at the opening ceremonies both days, is that premise that we're bringing these old school things to the present so that we have a future.
Right.
And so
Here.
here. Yeah. Where's my coffee cup? Yeah.
Here, tablers.
Here.
Oh yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
I don't
Anyway,
have coffee at the house, unfortunately. So
well, terrible. What crime?
I took it to work. Leave me alone.
Oh, okay. All right.
I had to
Anyway.
survive work. So
Well, I'm going to run down the upcoming events real quick, and the list is already 2 pages deep of upcoming events. The first, October 3rd through the 5th, that's this weekend. So it is going on now. So if you live in West Virginia, you can be there. The West Virginia Off-Grid Living, Homesteading, and Preparedness Expo, known as the WV Off-Grid Expo, is this weekend at the West Virginia State Fairgrounds in Lewisburg, West Virginia. October 10th and 11th, Homesteaders of America Conference, Front Royal, Virginia. The list of speakers and presenters is awesome, and that's going to be a great event. October 17th and 18th, Louisiana Homesteader Conference in Bossier City, Louisiana. It's put on by the LSU Ag Extension down there. So an event worth checking out. You can get on the old Google machine. And we're going to move on into Okie Homestead Expo, March 20th through 21st of 2026 at the Mays County Fairground in Pryor, Oklahoma. That's always a great event. Looking forward to that. April 17th through the 19th is the 10 Killer YouTube meetup in Lake 10 Killer, Oklahoma. Now, just found out this last weekend about an event in Arkansas that we've been invited to. But here's it's Central Arkansas Homestead Conference, April 17th and 18th at the Conway Expo Center in Conway, Arkansas. Now, you can find more information at centralarhomesteading.com. As you notice, there's a conflict of dates there, so that might be a bit of a challenge for some. But anyway, Central Arkansas Homestead Conference, it's a first-year event, but it is online, and they have tickets available. And I do know that Joel Salatin is going to be the headline speaker there. So they are reaching out to others, including our friend Monty Shrunk from the Suburban Sodbuster, and as well as us. Mid-America YouTube Meetup, Lake Texoma, Oklahoma, May 15th through the 17th. Talked to Mike with MT Homestead this last weekend, and they're looking forward to the event down there. And they said get your reservations in on campsites and such as that now. And of course, Ozarks Homesteading. Missed one. Modern Homesteading Conference in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, June 26th and 27th. So if you're in the Pacific Northwest, up in that area, go ahead and look into that one. Ozarks Homesteading Expo, September 4th and 5th, Marshfield, Missouri. Not liking them dates, but we'll discussion for a future day. But anyway, that's a Labor Day weekend and my anniversary. So anyway, problems. But anyway, and then of course Oklahoma Homestead Rendezvous, September 25th through the 26th, Southeast Expo Center, McAllister, Oklahoma. The venue's booked. It is a go. That is the upcoming events. That's everything I have for that. So, what you got, bro?
What I've got is
I see this. I know what Elder Squatch possibly making an appearance at Okie. Well, I think that could be worth going. That could be worth showing up for. I don't know. I'm a little that we rise to the ranks of Elder Squatch.
Yeah, so I just really want to ask Elder you've been hiding. Why are you coming out on the Farm to Tables channel?
Yeah, I mean we're honored, I guess. But
We are.
yeah,
I'm greatly
yeah.
confused why us, But when I think about it, we talk about the self-reliance go.
Limited interviews.
Oh, yeah, we're really the lucky one, huh?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
who's better at self-reliance than a Sasquatch,
I
right?
mean, awesomely, yes, and yeah. So there we go. So that's it. Tracy put, congratulations on hitting 900.
Thank you.
Yep,
100 more to
I
go,
appreciate.
guys.
Yep, and that's what I say. That's and yes, said he's trying to get you to 1,000, 100%, right?
Yeah,
And
thank you for that. Maybe.
right, and then Elder Squatch tells us he loves we Squatches love the farm to table show. So hey,
Oh, wow.
all right, well, cool. Thank you, Squatch. I appreciate that. And this was said at the rendezvous, biggest little channel on YouTube.
Right.
Anyway,
Yeah,
so
that's
yeah,
right.
yeah,
We're going to adapt that. The biggest
yeah,
little
little
channel.
channel on YouTube. That's it. And apparently, Elder Scotty says that he wants to be a tabler Squatch. So I think he's safely there. Yeah,
Be
but
careful. You could find yourself in Furryville.
hey, we're not going there. We're not going there. No. Even Mr. B wagged a finger.
Nope.
Ah,
Don't do it.
He wagged a finger. But anyway,
okay.
well, guys, it has been fun. So to have the gang, I like this dynamic of the gang here together. It's creating a fun dynamic. We're gonna have to figure out how to work things through when we're bringing guests in and stuff, and what's this look like. But we'll work through those details. We look forward. And hey, leave us comments. And when you tell us in the chat, is great. Yes, you saw that finger wag. But in our comments on the videos or that type of thing, reach out to us and let us know when we hit onto something you like, or if you got suggestions on things we might be able to change, let us know. But anyway,
Before we sign off,
yes, I was going to go around the horn. What do you got? Yeah.
just real quick,
Uh-huh.
we got a poll out.
Oh, what's the poll say?
Well, the poll's question was, do you support giving big ag liability exemption? In other words, they would not be able to be sued if they made you sick or even were responsible for poisoning our systems or whatever, ever. Oh, I see another Sasquatch in the back. What is that?
No, that is definitely a distant cousin of some kind. I don't know. It's
We don't claim them. We don't claim them.
it just got photo bombed right there.
Yeah, I did.
Photo bomb. Anyway,
Video bombed.
so what I wanted to report is 100% of the people who participated in the polls said no, they do not support that whatsoever. So,
Well, we have finally figured out how to get 100% of anybody to agree on anything.
right, 100% says nope,
We're out.
do it. Wouldn't be prudent.
Wouldn't be prudent. Okay. I like this. Tracy said, "Stay focused. The others just don't know about you yet." So thank you for the encouragement. Well, that was the last and final. That was Keith's job on the poll. Scott, any last things from North Kakalaki?
Not on this end, just hanging out with my boys. Hopefully, the grandson will be here this weekend before I have to go back.
Okay, well, I was going to say congratulations, but he hasn't made the appearance yet.
Has not. We actually stayed out last night a little while, eating out together as a family, and hoping that she would go into labor, but it didn't happen. So just crossing my fingers, I get to meet Bennett before I have to go back to Houston.
Well, there you go. Absolutely. So,
what's the name?
Bennett.
Bennett.
Okay. All right.
So anyway, Rebecca chimed out. I feel like nobody should have exemption, and we would concur with you on that, Rebecca.
We don't have exemptions.
Actually, with that, I think the farmers need a little bit of leniency.
Yeah.
Because in a lot of ways, Big Ag has forced their hands on this.
Right.
So I think, whatever exemptions need to be made, you take them away, but go after the Big Ag companies.
Right. Well, I think, so, just wrapping that up, Joel and, different ones have made the comment that, they're doing what their daddy did and their granddaddy did and their
Exactly.
that's all they know is that way of doing things.
Right.
And so getting them to change their mind would be like getting us to change our mind on something that's been done generationally. So, anyway, Mr. P, any final comments to the crowd or to us or?
I guess if anything, I'll give the sports update a little bit. Uh,
Well, what do you
I'm,
got?
I'm about to say, like, I know we have a serious topic, but I'll sort of be the lighter part of it all, I guess. That's what
That's
I
This
okay.
is
do.
serious.
Like,
This is serious. Go ahead.
yeah, no, just to let everybody know. Obviously, Kent State comes to OU today, so that game's going on. OSU goes to Arizona, but I'm gonna highlight one key game. Me and Ryan was talking about this yesterday because the sentence still baffles me to this day.
I can't believe we're even having this conversation, but go ahead.
I know, right? Vandy, Alabama.
No
That
kidding.
is the key game to watch today. The
Yes.
fact that Vandy is 5-0 and Bama is 3-1 and are on a tear right now, it should be a good game today. So,
So
for the football fans out there,
right. And to add to that, I mean, the first time since 1934, I think it was 34, but in the 30s, that Bama and Vanderbilt were both ranked
Yeah.
when they met each other.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I'm just going to say, I hope Clemson kicks UNC's tail today.
well, Clemson is, we got to watch what happens over there because is Bill Belichick and the North Carolina Tar Heels gonna, and is Dabo righting the ship and heading things in the right direction?
He admitted last week it was a coaching issue, so hopefully they can correct it and move forward.
Well, the fastest way to solve something is to admit that there's a problem and recognize what the problem is, and so hopefully, Arkansas is on a bye week this week. We fired our head coach, put in our interim, which was a former head coach. So some are saying that the coup is complete. But we will see with the remaining 7 games on the season if Arkansas can turn around this skid that they found themselves on the last few weeks. But anyway, so there's your sports update, folks. We didn't even know this was coming. Thanks to Mr. P.
Yeah.
All right. So great show. Appreciate everything. And yes, Tim will be watching, and give our regards to Tim. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, tablers. Thanks for joining us this morning on the show. And that is a wrap for today on the Farm to Table Show Saturday edition. Thanks for joining us as we strive towards building stronger communities for now and in the future. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to hit that like button, give us the thumbs up, share it with your friends. And if you're not already, subscribe to our channels on Facebook, YouTube, X, and Rumble. Although right now our Rumble is not broadcasting over there, so don't worry about Rumble right now. It is the best way to stay connected and help grow the conversation about food, farming, and community. Until next time, keep your roots deep and your vision growing. Good food starts with great people just like you. And man, let's see if I can get through this list. Remember, we are hashtag stronger together, hashtag keep it local, hashtag think outside the big box store, shop local, hashtag tablers unite, and hashtag elder squatch. And anyway, but anyway, no, it's been great to hang out. First show back, and first show with the whole crew here together. So enjoyed that. And anyway, until next time, keep your roots deep and your vision growing. Good. I already said that, didn't I? See, loose place in my own notes. Anyway, be a blessing to someone today. Yep, I heard it feedback over there. I know who did it. No, I already know who did it. Anyway, be a blessing to someone. Even just a smile goes a long ways. And so until next time, we go. Here it is, the way we finish everything we do. Prepare for the unexpected and
Keep it
local. Awesome. See y'all guys later. Hank, take us on out of here.
No humans were harmed in the production of this podcast.